Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jamie, and I'm your host today. And welcome to Live Trading with Sunday Study Group. So we were looking at the charts today and just observing what happened in price action. And one of the main things, because I was offside, I ain't gonna lie, I'm always bullish, and I was offside and I took a loss, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. So before we wrap up the call, we're looking at the charts and we're like, okay, what do we see? So we were over looking at NVIDIA, and I'll look at that when we finish. But I think I saw the AMD on NVIDIA, and then I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I'm just like, here's AMD on NQ. So ICT talks about AMD, a power of three, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And this is what we had. So overnight, we accumulated. The news came in, it manipulated. And then after the manipulation, you look for distribution. And so that's what we had. So then, I'm looking on the lower time frames, and what I saw on the 5-minute chart, I was like, here's a stupid BPR. It's not stupid, it's beautiful, but I'm a little upset because I was offside. So, a BPR is when you have a fair value gap and a fair value gap. This is a bullish fair value gap. This is a bearish fair value gap, and it's where they both overlap. So price came up to 50% of the 5-minute BPR. And if that, is your entry model, you could take it, but then it ended up setting up in this price action down here a 3-minute 2022 YouTube model. So, ICT talks about go look for opportunities to go short above midnight open. So if this is your entry, boom, you got your entry. Yeah, there's other things, yeah, but I don't want to go there down the rabbit hole. But that's your entry. But because we know we're in the distribution phase, there was a setup here for the 2022 YouTube model that we can feel comfortable going short in that position because we know we're in the distribution phase. So you know how we talk about sometimes, just look for opportunities to go short above midnight open and look for opportunities to go long below midnight open. Well, this is one of those times where we can trust taking this 2022 YouTube model to go short because we know we're in distribution. Does that make sense, y'all? Somebody got two people
Yeah,
got,
very much so. Very much so.
yes,
Totally
Yes,
understood.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just have to know, we have to know the narrative. We have to understand what's going on, and just take our time and read the charts and look for a setup. So the other thing was over here yesterday, we had this RTH gap. And basically the RTH gap is where the market closes one day and it opens another day. There's a gap between those two prices. And, sometimes the gap fills, sometimes it doesn't. Yesterday, we had these yellow lines are the RTH gap from yesterday. Price came down to 50%, and we were, I was in this trade and I should have got out at 50%, but I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna fill the gap. But it's like, no, I'm not gonna fill the gap. So, I made a little bit of profit, got out, no problem. But since I'm looking at micros right now, I didn't have this on my chart. I think I still have it on my chart for do I not? Oh, I don't even have it on this chart. Shame on me. Oh, yes. Oh, I deleted it. That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. That's bad charting right there. Okay, so even if I was over there, I probably wouldn't have seen it. But over here, so we came into this RTH gap yesterday. I'll show you just in case if you're like, oh my God, I don't know what you're talking about. This gap right here, the previous day, and actually, I think I marked this on a 5-minute chart. Why do I have this all the way down here? It should be right here. I'm gonna just put it right here. So that's the lower gap. This is the upper gap because we closed here Tuesday, we opened here Wednesday. So price came in, and actually it went a little bit deeper than the 50%. So we have the RTH gap. Now, totally lost sight of that when, in this whole scheme here, And so basically, if we were up here and we were looking to go short, we would have had on our target to take previous day low at the very least to keep our eyes on the RTH gap filling. And then we know we had all this sell side liquidity down here from this low right here, this low right here, and then we have these lows right here. But then this purple box, which should really be green because I like to make my fair value gaps green. It came down to a high time frame PD array. And then another thing that we looked at up here is measuring this short-term low, swing low right here to the swing high up here. Price usually likes to come down and seek a discount below 50%, equilibrium. And it came straight into, you can't see it. Okay. The golden ratio zone between 618 and 702. It came straight to our 4-hour fair value gap. So it doesn't mean it's going to stop here and turn around and go up for the rest of the day. I mean, it can come and dig down to 50% of the fair value gap, which is still within the golden ratio zone. So if people were long, like that's things that you could target, short, sorry. If you were short, you could either get out here, you can get out at 25%, you can get out at 50%, or you can see if it's gonna fill the gap, because sometimes they fill, But dadgummit, this is something that, when we get on, and I don't want to commit to getting on at 5:30 because that's early for me at Pacific time. But okay, I gotta check what that is. That might be some kind of, oh, it's probably hitting a fair value gap. Get on earlier so we can go through our checklist and hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? Like everybody go through and mark up your charts. So everybody is on the same page. But that right there is redonkulous. Before we look at NVIDIA, does anybody have any questions? That's crazy. I can't believe it. No questions? Don't be shy. Yep, look at that. Look at that. All right, so Carlene wanted NVIDIA.
Sorry, there was no BPR. I thought there was, but it was in the overnight. But there's all the factors of the accumulation, manipulation, distribution.
Yeah, absolutely. All day long. So NVIDIA, same thing. Overnight, it accumulated. Then, I'll just leave the overnight hours there. Then we had the little manipulation. And then distribution. Classic power of three. Thank you, ICT. Thank you, ICT. Thank you. Look. So, knowing that, it's like any in here, like accumulation, that's manipulation. Anything in here, up in here for a short, you could look for, And we saw the 2022 model. Carlene saw it on the 1-minute chart.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So this is how I would mark it. It ran these highs here. We had our, I'm gonna give it over here just because, where's my little, I'm gonna go with this one. Like, this is a short term. Ooh. You know, you have it over here, you have it over here, you have it here, but like this is really where the displacement kicked in, and we don't even have any fair value gaps over here, right? So that's why I'm choosing this one right here. And then you got this right here. Boom. It's go time. Wow. Wow. What a great educational day.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any questions? Jesus. Jesus. And so this is one of the things that I've said in the past is like, I want to be a distribution trader. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be like, okay, like as a distribution trader, and basically that just means like you're trading in on this distribution right here. So, and basically what that means is like, I always want to see accumulation. Like accumulation is good. It's not fun to trade, you know. So you definitely don't want to be trading in accumulation. I mean, unless you're a scalper. But you know, if you can see that and you can get in on some distribution, baby. Baby. Any questions? Any questions?
Hey, so when you say you want to be a distribution trader, where would you get in? You know, you see the distribution going.
Oh,
What would you be looking for to get in?
yeah, I would be like, I would know, say up here, oop, what did I move? I'm gonna take this off so it's not too confusing. So say up here, you know, we know that this is accumulation, right? Because it's not trending up, it's not trending down, it's just kind of staying in a range, right?
All right.
So like when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm checking the charts, I'll be like, ooh, good accumulation.
Yeah.
The next thing I want to see is manipulation. So when I wake up in the morning and I see that news had this big manipulation leg up here, then it's like,
Yeah.
good, that's my manipulation. Now I can start to look for distribution. And basically, you're just looking for price to react to a PD array. And in this case, it was this 5-minute BPR. So maybe I'm like, I don't know, is it going to trace up to, you know, the an OTE? Like, how do I know it's going to stop here? I don't know that I really do know, but I can be like, okay, say it comes up here and it rejects, right? It rejects because it just pulls back down. Then what we have, what's something in here that one of you guys see that kept price down? Does anybody see anything, any PD array?
What the fair value got
This one right here?
right there? Yeah.
Yeah, price didn't get to it, so it's still open. So what do you see another one? Just go down the list of PD arrays. So you got fair value gap, you got a liquidity void. Is it a liquidity void that held price down?
That an order block?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take that. And there's something else. This is the order block. What's something else? Joan?
What, the breaker?
Yes. Yes.
What
Breaker.
was that? Oh, okay.
Breaker. Let me see. Do I have a breaker? Nope, but we gonna make one. I want my breakers to be, let's go with blue. So knowing that we're in distribution, then I can look for reactions off of PD arrays. So this got respected right here. Maybe this was aggressive and I'm like, I'm good. I'll just wait and let it give me another PD array. Then, like Patty said, this right here is an order block. It got confirmed right here. Price pulled up into the order block, but then we also got this breaker sitting right here. Let me see if I can put, you know what I mean? So price pulled into the order block and you know, here, you know, it pulled into it almost got to look like it got to the wick of the order block. And then, you know, here it's just, it stopped at the breaker. Then it opened here, it pushed a little bit more, came back to the order block. That's, and we're above midnight open. And we know we know we're in the distribution phase, and we're looking for PD arrays where we can enter off of to get in to be a part of that distribution. So that's what I mean. When I see
Okay.
I want to be a distribution trader, like the distribution is when, like, manipulation is great. Don't get me wrong. Like if you were in here on this long and you got to catch that, that's great. But it's almost like when you know you have a accumulation, then you have a manipulation, you know distribution is coming, and that's going to be a move that more times than not that I've ever seen, the distribution is a bigger move than the manipulation.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
just, look at that. I mean, it filled the was that our 4 hours?
Jamie,
Huh?
just check the chart quickly, but continue.
We're within a wait, $1. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I'm not, it could keep on dropping, but just notice how it comes to the edge of the fair value gap. It filled the fair value gap.
Yeah.
One of the things that ICT says is we can look for the 2022 YouTube model when it takes out an old high or a low. He says you can look for it once it gets to the edge of a fair value gap, you know, to say, you know, it just came down here, a bounce and gave you 2022 YouTube model. Or you can look for it at 50%, you know, or here, but you just got to wait for it to set up, you know.
Yeah.
And see how my chart keeps jumping. Um, what was I gonna say? But you know, it can keep dropping lower. Like it's just, you know, um, you what else was I gonna say? So anyway, just noticing that it filled the 4 hour fair value gap. And that might have been somebody's target. Like I'm gonna look see if I can get a 4 value because it was so bullish, it's dropping. That might be your target. Like, you know, you're out, you know. Yeah, so that is the lesson of the day. We want to come to these calls and see this accumulation. And one of the ways that you can kind of anticipate this is when you have high impact news, like that high impact news will give you that manipulation. So where Avery and I went wrong today, like I saw that we had AMD, not AMD, what you call it? SMT.
SMT.
Yeah, initially I was thinking, oh, we got SMT because NQ hadn't taken out these lows, but ES and YM had the lows of the yellow line. So I was like, oh, we got SMT. Totally missing this AMT sitting right in front of my face. Did I say AMT? Totally missing the AMD sitting in front of my face. Can't believe it. I mean, it's really that easy, you know, but it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, because if it was, everybody on this call would have been in that short this morning. But so because what messed me up was at SMT, and we were looking at this, and let's see, were we on the 5-minute chart, or what chart were we on? Now it did all this, you know, the makings of the 2022 YouTube model, but we failed to realize we were in distribution, right? So we did everything. We didn't do anything wrong, but we were just, our narrative was wrong, you know?
Hey, can you go back on that? How you guys came up with the y'all saw
Yeah, so
the
I'm marking.
accumulation? Yeah, the
Oh, wait.
accumulation.
Well, let me just show this right here is where we were wrong. This
That's
is,
what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
yeah, this is when you ICT says, is the model going to work every time? No, it's not. But when it works, it works. So I think I want to say this is where we saw it. So we had the stop rate, we had the short-term high, we had the displacement, we had a fair value gap. Okay, let's go. But we didn't know we were in distribution. And another thing that, I said while we were looking at it is this, we're right at mid New York Open. There's going to be some volatility that kicks in here.
You
It's
did say that, yeah.
yeah, this is a little dangerous, and we're above midnight open.
Yeah, you said that too.
Yeah. But Avery, you didn't hear this whole conversation, right?
I caught the picture of manipulation up and the distribution down.
Okay, yeah. So I'm recording it, so I'm gonna post it so you can catch it. But so Avery, I mean what you call it? Martin, sorry. What did you want me to talk about? The AMD?
That was what I was getting at. I was trying to get back to where you guys had came up with the
Yeah.
original plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we went wrong. We didn't know we were in distribution. Did you catch?
Okay.
Were you here for that part of the call, Avery?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Yeah, that distribution, it would have been nice to be on that side.
yeah.
But
Well, we'll catch it.
we'll
So
catch it, don't worry.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we got our Joan will, I'll drop my little checklist in the chat so you people can use it or add to it, but those are the things that we need to keep our eye on. Were you on when we were talking about that RTH gap from yesterday, Avery?
No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you know how we went
But it's filled though.
yeah, that right there could have been like our target because we know it left it open yesterday.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful. Yeah.
What was the setup to go short?
Oh, it was all well, I'm gonna stop recording because
Okay.
yeah, but then I'll walk through it. Anybody have any questions before I stop recording?
Where would you find the recording?
It's a good
I'll
question.
post it in the Sunday Study group. I'm gonna
Okay.
put it on YouTube. Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube. Because this is basic and people just need to know this, like this is super, super basic and super predictable. Super, super predictable. Okay, so no questions.
Sorry.
Let me stop recording. Well, I'm going to